gentlemen, summoners and sorcerers battling out in the grand arena of DSA. This is your master sorcerer, Dragonslayer from Dragonslayer Games, talking to you today about early, mid, and late game and long game. So today's topic is going to be a little bit more different. This is more of a concept topic, not really a guide per se, but today we're going to be talking about these topics and what they each mean, maybe some good checkpoints in each part of these sections in the game, which you're definitely going to be hitting. So anyways, let's get straight into the first topic, early game. Now, early game, I asked my clubs and club members what they thought of the early game, when to, put the levels basically, and they said levels 1 through 40 to 45, that's going to be your early game. Levels 40 to 60, or 45 to 60, that's going to be your mid game, and level 60 and above, that's going to be your late, long game, and as you keep on going, going to be your end game as well. So we also came to the conclusion that the first 20 to 25 levels is the preview game. Now, I started a free-to-play account, secondary one, because my main account, I will say it's not completely free-to-play. So I'm not like Hippersnack. He's a true free-to-play player. So I highly give him props for being a true free-to-play account player. But I did start a secondary account, which I'm not going to use. I just wanted to see where it is for a new player, because I honestly forgot at this point. So for a new player, you can't really unlock everything until about level 22. So there's a lot of things that you're gonna miss, and you don't really get to see it until about 25. So you're really gonna see everything. So that's why we consider levels 1 through 25 or 1 through 20 the preview game, because you don't get to unlock everything until later on. Now, early game levels are gonna be levels 21 to 40 or 25 to 40. So he's going to be a little bit later on, but this is going to be your main early game around here. I actually believe PvP you actually unlock pretty late as well, so it could be even later than 22 or 25 right there. Anyways, moving on, you're going to want to solidify your starting 5 in this early game. So right now, currently the meta, it goes into here, farming the first meta team. It's going to be your Big Hero 6 team. Now, this could always change, of course, but as of right now, the Big Hero 6 team as a whole is not the greatest. I mean, they're a very good team, don't get me wrong, but I think as a whole, they're not solid. As a hybrid team, they're fantastic. So your characters we're going to look at there are going to be Fred, Hero, and of course Honey Lemon. Wasabi and Go-Go do have their spot in there as well, but usually people will be filling them in with different characters. They're a great hybrid team, but you need to have that cohesion, especially between Honey Lemon and Hero. That's going to be your key for that team. So definitely farm your Big Hero 6 team. Please do not get that wrong though, but the Big Hero 6 is still a great team. Don't get me wrong, they are a fantastic team, but like I said, I don't want you guys messing with the words I'm saying, but they are a good first team to farm. They're going to carry you through. You're going to get Baymax through them, and like I said, you can make a hybrid team out of them with Frozen and Big Hero 6. Those are two legendary teams, a very strong team. And during this time, I also encourage you guys to join a beginner builder club. You can literally join a club at level 4. I just realized that. So you could literally join a club at level 4. And this is a great time for you to do one of those. Now, I have to be honest with you. If you're brand new to the game, you have to realize where you are in the game. Most clubs, even the mid-tier clubs, for instance, they want players with at least 30 or 40,000 summoner score. So when your summoner score is sub that, and you're very new to the game, like level 30s, 40s, it's okay to be in a builder club that just maybe does a couple of club conquest stuff, or does a little bit of club coins. It's okay, because you know why? You have to earn that right to be in those clubs that do those big things. And I remember when I started this game, having 40,000 summoner score, that was fine to join a pretty decent club. But now to join a pretty decent club, you need to at least be like 75,000 summoner score and above. You gotta have like a 3K team. So for the early game people, just hold the boat, wait until you can grow yourself a little, get your roster up there, and then you'll be able to move on to those big clubs. My collective right now, Guardians of the Galaxy, we have 2 builder clubs, 3 mid-tier clubs, and 2 competitive clubs. You can see on the screen our logo here, our little postcard for advertising and stuff like that. Now I will say, you do need to build a little bit to be in those mid-tier clubs. Now, comparing to those builder clubs, the builder clubs, so you guys can pretty much be in there fresh and brand new, because the point of them obviously is to build. So I recommend you guys to join builder clubs and move on to more mid-tier clubs, and you can go to competitive clubs later on. And don't worry about your roster size. Worry about the starting 5 strength, because that's really going to carry you through the early game. And you should be able to finish, I believe, towers 1 and 2 and possibly 3. And also, like it says up there, I kind of skimmed over a little bit, I think, but as you get towards level 40, you're going to want to get your starting 5 to gear 5, because that's going to really be effective in that mid game, because most people don't have their characters geared up completely. They kind of lack on that at some points. They think star level is more important. Star level does have importance, but guys, in this game, gear is very important as well, and most people argue gear is probably more important than star level. So I would work towards getting that gear up. The more gear you have, I think the more effective you're going to be, and it's just going to make the game a lot easier. Now, of course, the early game, if I were to summarize this is going to be your learning stage, understanding how the game works, and really just getting to understand where to do things, what to do things, when to do things. And for those of you doing raids right now, I congratulate you guys for doing that. You guys are starting to do raids now, so have fun with that when it comes around. Now we're going to move on to mid-game. So mid-game, this is when your first meta team at least completely unlocked and reaching gear 5 and beyond that. So looking back at the Big Hero 6 team, you are going to be probably unlocking them fully around this mid-game, so level 40 and above, 45 and above, because it does take time to farm them, and because you do level up pretty quickly in those beginning stages, it's pretty easy to get into those 40s, not maybe have your full meta team unlocked. So with moving on to like this type of time frame, I think you should be able to complete and at least unlock those characters fully at mid game for sure. I would suggest that once your first meta team is at 3k plus at Big Hero 6 team, start to move on to farming different teams such as Frozen. It's still going to be a great team to go after, because Elsa, she's a legendary character, so she is still holding her ground. She has not lost her luster yet. Now, of course, if you're watching this maybe 2-3 years down the line, Elsa may not be the Elsa we knew her at the beginning of the game, and which would be unfortunate, because I do love Elsa. She has a great kit, and I just love using her. But with that said, later on it may not be that way, but at least for now, farm that meta team, farm that Big Hero 6 team, and then go after Elsa is what I would go for as well. You would also want to start farming the bubbles and Gantu if you finish all your grand campaign farms with Sven, Olaf, who else? Gogo and Hero. If you guys don't do those first, and then go for that then Bubbles and Gantu, because they're going to be great plug and play characters for both of those teams. So that's what I would totally recommend you guys doing. Start prepping your starting 5 for gear 7 later levels. This is like around like level 50. You're going to want to start leveling up your characters to gear 6 and try and maybe prep them for gear 7 as you approach level 60, because level 60, that's when you can unlock gear 7. And trust me guys, at gear 7, that's a big jump for a lot of characters. For instance, Elsa, when I had her at start level 6, start level 7, there was a little increment of improvement, but it's that gear that's really going to help her. So I highly recommend you guys going for that gear. Is going to be really key at this mid game for sure. You should be climbing up the tournament ladder as well. Going to the top 100 is definitely, I think, doable as you get to your 50s and beyond that for sure. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. It just depends on the characters or players in your tournament roster and how well or how strong they are in the game. Now, I believe it is possible to finish all the towers. I think by level 59, you should definitely be able to finish Tower 4. If not, Tower 5 is very doable as well. I think it was still my level 50s when I completed Tower 5, so definitely doable. And trust me, I didn't have the greatest roster to do Tower 5, but it's definitely going to be doable. Your summoner score should be creeping up towards 75,000k, and it's probably a good time to move on to a more competitive club for sure. Now, I think in the early game, if you want to be part of a good club, I think it's something I kind of skimmed over and talked about. You definitely want to be like in those 40s and 50,000s. But if you want to be more of a mid-tier club or going to the competitive club, even this is a little bit outdated. I definitely think you should be more in the 6-figure realm. 75,000, you make a cut, but definitely if you're in that 6-figure realm, or if you just have a really good roster, like good meta teams for instance, then you should be fine to join a competitive club, especially if those teams are around 3,000 and above. That's definitely going to be key as well. Now let's go into the late game. And late game, you should have at least those 2 teams, the Frozen Big Hero 6 teams, for Club Conquest for sure. Another one to get there is Oceanics. I have a whole Club Conquest tournament roster that you can use. Now, over time that probably will get outdated, and of course I'll update it, but as for now, that's what I would recommend you guys going for and gunning for. You should definitely have, like I said, those 3K teams as you enter the late game, level 60 and beyond. The character events, you start getting trophies slowly. Like recently we just had the hero event that just came out of nowhere. I didn't think the hero event was going to come back, and it did somehow come back, and I got the trophy for that. I have the Elsa trophy now, so slowly getting it. And definitely all towers should be done at this point. If you have not unlocked all the towers, there are guides out there for sure. I have a complete gameplay of the Tower 5. If you guys need help with that, I'll put it in the description or something, or put it like in the little top corner over there if you guys really need help on Tower 5, for instance. You should definitely be creeping into that top 100 at this point at late game. Your summoner score should be creeping up definitely 100,000 plus, if not more. For those of you who are, you know, paying in this game, your summoner score could be probably upwards of 250,000, 200,000 at this point, which is not going to be not shocking. You should have components of your you should have components, if not completed, these teams: Big Hero 6, Frozen, Oceanics, Tech, Kingdom, Incredibles, Mythicals. And you're probably asking why. This leads us into our next topic, which is going to be long game, but these are going to be great for you guys in Club Conquest. Now I think the weak links here are going to be Incredibles for sure, and as teams come in, and unfortunately if the Incredibles don't get a rework, that great, you know, Par family, the Great Incredibles family, they're gonna be, I think, just wiped out of the game, except Dash. I mean, there's really very little use with them, and hopefully later on they will become useful once again. But you're gonna be looking here, definitely that Big Hero 6, Frozen, Oceanics. Those 3 teams are definitely gonna be in big, followed up by Kingdom, Mythicals, and Tech. Those are gonna be your follow-up teams that are gonna be supplemental in your Club Conquest journey. But as you move on into the long game, late game, definitely this is going to be your, you know, thing big. This is, I would consider early game, like I said earlier, learning. Your mid game is going to be your building, and your late game is going to continue that building and then into expansion in the long game. So he's talking about long game. This is gonna be long game or end game, if you want to call it, but end game is really when you have all your characters and stuff. So the long game is getting to the end game, and this is the long game is what I call your expansion mode, because clubs are definitely important. Club Conquest and raids are going to be part of the long game for sure, and if you want to be successful in this game, you're going to need to really understand the whole concept of the long game. So you're definitely going to need 10 strong teams for Club Conquest, and as of right now we don't know the exact characters that are going to benefit you in raids, so this may be a little bit outdated, but of course we'll probably make a separate video just for raids and information. And you're going to be starting complete events. Events are going to come in and out, and you're just going to keep on completing them, and you get your trophies. You're going to have a big trophy section for your profile. It's going to look pretty. You're going to have nice, you know, emblems, stuff like that for those events and whatnot. But this is definitely when you get those 10 strong teams like Club Conquest. Now, of course, Club Conquest could change. They could bring in different PvEs, and you're going to need different types of characters, but I would say definitely 10 strong teams. Like I said, I do have a video for that, but definitely recommend getting you guys your Big Hero 6 team, your Tech team, your Oceanics team, your Frozen team, Kingdom team as well. Even though Kingdom's kind of gone down a little bit, it's still a very effective team in Club Conquest in my opinion, so definitely keep them in there. In your roster as well, and of course have fun. And you know, long game, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm in late game and long game. You know, I'm building my roster. I'm getting, right now my focus is getting my teams up to gear 6. That's my big thing, because getting to gear 7, that's, you know, a little harder. It's more of a longer game type of thing, but to get like my main Club Conquest teams to gear 6, that's my main focus right now, and getting them leveled up and getting their abilities up, that's also another thing as well. So definitely guys, that's the long game. This is definitely going to be your expansion mode in this game, and I hope you guys take that into account, that the long game it does take a while, so keep that in mind as well. But I think that's going to wrap it up for our topic and discussion of early, mid, and late game and long game. And end game, that's a whole different thing, but basically end game, it's a very simple topic. It's when you pretty much have everything. I mean, you have, you know, gear 7.5 characters, rosters. You know, you're already done farming almost everyone in elite battles. You have your Steamboat Mickey and stuff like that. So that's where end game really is that you just have everything. But before you get to end game, in between late game and end game is long game, and long game is where that expansion and growth in your roster and team is going to happen. And I think people feel like I felt accomplished when I got my Frozen team and got them going, got it completed, and even getting, you know, to Baymax and stuff like that. I felt like I was completed, but then I realized I'm not, because there's a lot of there's a lot of holes in my roster, in my teams that need help for Club Conquest, for instance. And I realized in Club Conquest I can really do maybe 2 or 3 battles, and that's about it. I mean, after that I'm not that useful, so I want to improve on that. And granted, guys, my summer score right now is about 123,000, which isn't that crazy, but 123,000, I expected myself to be more effective, and I don't feel like I am. So that's why I say the long game is really where you got to focus on building and expanding your roster to be more effective in those long game tactics for raids and Club Conquest and other contents that come in the future. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if you have done so. I will say we have definitely gotten better in our subscription watch ratio. We're creeping up on 30% more. We are creeping up on 100 subscribers as well. Like the last time I checked, we're at like 87, so it might be more by the time you guys watch this, and I really appreciate you guys. Once we get to 100, that's gonna be a big deal in my book, because, you know, I didn't think I was gonna get there this quickly. Like for me, this is pretty quick growth. We're getting double-digit subscriptions every month, and we're almost getting double-digit subscriptions every week. So that's crazy for me. So I appreciate you guys so much. It means so much to me. If you guys haven't done so yet, if you want to become part of the Den Folk, go on to Discord and go link down below. Go for the Discord. If you're looking for a club, also check down there. Now you gotta remember, just because you get, you know, invited to go to my club's Discord doesn't mean you're automatically gonna get accepted. You know, there's prerequisites, stuff like that, and the admins will talk to you and stuff like that. Moderators talk to you about like which if the club will fit for you, if you have room or not, and stuff like that. So that's not a guaranteed fit that you're gonna be in my club or my collective, but it's gonna be at least an invitation to go join us. And lastly, if you've done so yet, check out the Twitch stream. The Twitch stream, we're at 100 and say I believe 15 or 16 followers, are growing there. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and occasional weekends as well. So that's going well, and we are on our way to getting to the 5 sub badges. So we just need to get those subscriptions up there, and we'll be all set on Twitch as well. And anyways, guys, I hope this was beneficial. Hope you guys liked it. Please get, for those of you who've been in the game longer than me, or at least around the same time frame as me, please give your feedback as well, and your thoughts down below in the comment section. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, like I said again. And this is Dragon Games, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.